Classifications of systems. Classifications of systems. First one is linear and non-linear systems. Linear and non-linear systems. What is linear system? A linear system is which satisfies the superposition theorem. Which satisfies the superposition theorem. Then that system is known as linear system. What is superposition theorem? In superposition theorem, there are two conditions. One is additivity plus homogeneity. The system obeys these two conditions, then that system is known as linear system. If the system doesn't obey any one of these or two, if system is obeys any one of these or two, or if obeys the additivity and doesn't follow the homogeneity, then it is called non-linear system. If it is doesn't obey additivity and obeys the homogeneity, then also it is known as non-linear. If and only if it obeys the both conditions, then it is called linear system. Now we will see some examples for the linear and non-linear systems. We will see in clear what is linear system. For example, if a system y of t is equal to x of t, then if you give the x1 of t input, then we will get y1 of t output. If you give x2 of t input, then we will get y2 of the output. And now x of t, in place of x of t, we will give this input as x1 of t plus x2 of t. Then it produces the output as means y of t is equal to transfer function of x1 of t plus x2 of t. It is equal to y1 of t plus y2 of t. Means if the condition satisfies, this is 1, and y of t is equal to, while giving the individual inputs, plus transfer function of x2 of t, then we will get y1 of t plus y2 of t. If equation 1 is equal to 2, then it is called additivity condition satisfied. Similarly, if x of t input gives the y of t as output, if the input is multiplied by some constant k, then the output of this one also multiplied by the constant k. If it satisfies this condition, then it is called homogeneity condition is satisfied. So by seeing these two, this additivity and this homogeneity is satisfied, then the system is called linear system. Otherwise it is known as non-linear system. We will see some examples now. Example 1. Y of t is equal to x of t into sin omega t. First we will check additivity. Means in place of x of t we will give as x1 of t. Then y1 of t is equal to x1 of t into sin omega t. Then in place of x of t we will give as x2 of t. Then y2 of t is equal to x2 of t into sin omega t. Now we will give the x of t in place of x of t. We will give combination of x1 of t plus x2 of t. Then the output is x1 of t plus x2 of t into sin omega t, multiply sin omega t into, then we will get x1 of t into sin omega t plus x2 of t into sin omega t. From equation 1 and equation 2, from equation 1 and equation 2 we can write here as, this is as y1 of t plus it is as y2 of t. So additivity condition is satisfied, means y of t is equal to y1 of t plus y2 of t. Additivity condition is satisfied. Now we will check for homogeneity. Homogeneity means, for homogeneity condition checking. For x of t, output is y of t. Sorry, we can write directly y of t is equal to x of t into sin omega t. Now we will multiply the x of t with k, some constant k, as x of t. Then y dash of t we will let y dash or y1. Y dash is good because y1 we have already taken. Now we will take y dash of t is equal to k into x of t into sin omega t. Now we know that from x of t into sin omega t is y of t. So y dash of t is equal to y1 of t. From the homogeneity condition we get y dash of t is equal to k into x of t for input k into x of t. So from this we can say that homogeneity condition also satisfied. So both additivity and homogeneity conditions are satisfied. So the system is known as linear system. System y of t is equal to x of t into sin omega t is linear system. We will see roughly what is linear system and what is non-linear system. If the system obeys the superposition theorem, then it is known as linear system. What is superposition theorem? Superposition theorem satisfies both conditions. One is additivity and second one is homogeneity. If both conditions are satisfied, then only it is called linear system. If any one of these is not satisfied, it is called non-linear system. So this is the procedure for the additivity. Additivity conditions. We will replace x of t by x1 of t. We will get y1 of t. x2 of t, x of t by x2 of t. We will get x2 of t. Now we will substitute x of t with combination of both x1 and x2. Now we have to get y1 of t plus y2 of t. If it is satisfies these two conditions are equal, then it is known as additivity condition. Homogeneity means input is multiplied by some constant k, then output must be also multiplied by the same constant k, then that is known as homogeneity. If the system satisfies these two conditions, then it is known as linear system. Example, y of t is equal to x of t into sin omega t. We will follow these steps. We get additivity condition is satisfied and homogeneity condition also satisfied. So the system is linear system. Thank you. Thank you. Gate Q&A.